India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Xiamen for the BRICS Summit in China. He is expected to also have a crucial meeting with the Chinese President Xi Jingping on the sidelines of that summit on Monday. Prime Minister Modi's official engagements in Xiamen only begin tomorrow at 7 a.m. IST. The Prime Minister's meeting with the Chinese President on the sidelines of the BRICS Summit is being looked at as pivotal, given that it comes after the 75-day border standoff that the two countries were engaged in on Doklam. Prime Minister Modi and President Xi are expected to discuss confidence-building measures at that meeting. India is also likely to push for new mechanisms to address the dispute along the line of actual control. India is also likely to demand more concrete measures against terror infrastructure in the AFPAC region and also seek a broader framework for combating terror worldwide. In fact, the significance that India attaches to the BRICS Summit coming through from this tweet that was put out by the Indian Prime Minister, saying that India attaches high importance to BRICS, which has begun a second decade of its partnership for progress and peace, unquote. Prime Minister Modi also expected to hold bilateral talks with Russia's President Vladimir Putin and the presidents of Brazil and South Africa. Let's go straight across to WION's Ramesh Ramachandran, who is joining us live from Xiamen, has been tracking the very latest. Hi Ramesh, the Prime Minister there has arrived for the BRICS Summit, but what's also more crucial is that meeting that is expected to take place between the Indian Prime Minister and the Chinese President.
Indeed, good evening to you, Molly. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has landed in Xiamen, China for participation in the 9th BRICS Summit here. He landed at about 40 or 45 minutes ago, and his entourage is on its way to the hotel here. But that said, as you were mentioning, Molly, tomorrow would be might be a crucial day for both India and the host China, because we are given to understand that there might be a bilateral meeting on the margins of the BRICS Summit between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi. But that said, just as a quick aside, the official itinerary for tomorrow shared by the Indian government sources does not specifically mention a bilateral with President Xi. All that we've been told at the moment as we speak is that there would be a bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Putin tomorrow, followed by a bilateral with President of Brazil. That is what we are officially being conveyed as of now, but this could change going forward. But just to inform you, Molly, and the viewers of WION, at the moment there is no official word yet on whether there will be indeed a bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jingping of China tomorrow. But that said, this is a 3-day summit, and it's customary for all leaders of the 5 BRICS members to meet and greet each other. So there will be occasion for both Prime Minister Modi and President Xi to hold talks either formally or informally on the margins of the BRICS Summit.
Right, Ramesh, I also want to ask you that aside from what's on agenda in terms of the trade and terror-related talks, do we also expect the North Korean provocation, the latest one that's come in, and the kind of onus which lies on the world community to rein in North Korea, to come up on the agenda as part of the BRICS Summit as well?
Absolutely, Molly. I couldn't agree more with you. North Korea would be very much firmly on the agenda of the BRICS Summit, which has commenced earlier today here in Xiamen, China. But that said, we've already heard from President Vladimir Putin of Russia, who in a signed article published in a section of the official Chinese media here, sharing his thoughts on the way forward in resolving the standoff or the tensions on the Korean Peninsula. And he suggests that dialogue is the only way forward, and that all sides should be in a position to hold talks with the North Korean government in order to ease tensions on the Korean Peninsula, and that the threat of sanctions are futile and will not work. Now, we've heard India also share its concerns on the North Korean ballistic missile and nuclear program. But one can expect all 5 countries, all 5 member states of the BRICS nations to discuss North Korea among other regional and global issues, including but not limited to the situation obtaining in Syria today. So Syria and North Korea can be expected to figure prominently on the agenda of the leaders of the BRICS grouping here in Xiamen, China.